हाय फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू पढ़िए विद प्राची। आपका स्वागत है आज चैप्टर 3 मैथ्स क्लास 10th CBSE NCERT pair of linear equations in two variables. So let's go. Friends, welcome back to day 2 of quadratic equations. We learned how to solve quadratic equation using the graphical method yesterday, and as I said, I prefer the algebraic method better. It seems like more like it, if you know what I mean. Algebra को algebra की तरह solve नहीं करेंगे तो कैसे करेंगे? But having said that, obviously graphical method is used to understand it conceptually as to what it is. So following are the two ways of solving quadratic equations, right? So just coming back to the examples of quadratic the equation, not example as such. This is how it is expressed, right? So these are the quadratic equations. Now, so first coming to the substitution method, right? So in substitution method, what we do is we express one of the variables. So for example, we first take any of the equation. So what are we going to do? We are going to say like this: 1, 2, then expressing x equal to minus c1 minus b1 y by a1, right? So that's what we are going to do. So we are going to, so it can be x, it can be y, depending on you actually, what do you want to do. I'll give you the tips and tricks along the way as y I've selected x, y I've selected y, but you can select either of it, right? So you can also express y is equal to minus c1 minus a1x by y b1, right? So that's how you can express. So that's the step 1 in either of the equations. So currently we have taken equation 1, you can take equation 2 as well. But equation, so that again is something which looking at the equations you will come to know. So now that we have expressed either of it, so for example we have considered equation 1 and we have expressed x, then we have to substitute this value of x in the other equation and solve for y. So when we substitute this value of x, so we are going to substitute this value of x here. So we'll substitute it here. I'm not going to show this, it's right, so because we'll go by examples, right? So now everything is in y, so it will become a linear equation in y and we can solve for y. Similarly, if we had done we had expressed y in terms of x like this, so in that case we would have substituted the value of y in this equation and solved for the value of x. So either of it, x or y, you are solving and you are getting in the step 2. And then when you get that value, you can use, so in this case if we are let's consider we have taken this, so we are going to substitute this value of x here, y here, so we get the other value, so then we will get the solution x or y. So this is the scenario of unique solution, and which we learned yesterday is known as consistent pair of linear equations, and graphically it is shown by intersecting at one point. Now there could be other solutions also, so which we are now going to come to, right? We had learned other two types of solutions. Now what happens when we solve this equation if we do not get a unique solution, right? So what happens is that when we solve it, the variable itself gets eliminated. So for example, it comes something like this: 4 is equal to 4. This is what a statement which sort of comes in once we substitute the value, right? So we get 4 equal to 4, or we could get something like 4 equal to 0, right? So this statement is true and this is false. So in terms of algebraic answer, this is infinitely many solutions and this is no solution. And you know what is this, right? You know what is this? This is your, on graph it looks like coincident line, and this is also known as consistent pair of linear equations, dependent. And while what is this? Inconsistent pair of linear equations, and on the graph they come as parallel lines. So let's move on to questions and see how we get this different scenarios. So moving on to the examples for solving substitution method. This is, we have taken from exercise 3.2 of NCERT. Right, so what will we do? We can express, so this is, we will say equation 1, 2, expressing y in terms of x into substituting So I have not dictated this. I hope you understood what I have done, right? So first I have expressed y in terms of x. So you have to write in this manner. And why did I take this, right? So to my mind, I wanted it to be like, so in this case, if I had expressed either of it, the other variable would have been negative, right? X is equal to 14 minus x, so y is equal to 14 minus x. I somehow like it in positive terms. So y is equal to x minus 4, that's why. It's just random selection, you can do the other, the answer would come in the same manner, right? So now solving the other equation. Now here also, this is something I do. You can work with the decimals, but I try to make my life easy. I can simply say, so these are the equations. I somehow don't like working, if I can, with decimals or fractions, if I can avoid. So that's why I do this. So now these are the two new equations. You can just choose any one. So expressing x in terms of y in 3. So x equal to 13 by 3y by 2. Substituting in 4, x in 4. So 4 So this is the solution. So this is how I've written, and this is how you are also supposed to write. So now we are coming to more equations, more questions here. I've taken up a mix of examples as well as exercise questions. So let's go from this. Rearranging 2 to get x, so x will become root 8 by 3 y. Substituting value of x in 3 in 1, right? So when we substitute here, it becomes root 8 by root 3 y plus root 3 y is equal to 0. Now this we know is 4y by root 3 plus root 3y is equal to 0, 4y plus 3y equal to 0, 7y equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Substituting value of y in, so this you can say is 4 in 4, x is equal to 0. So the solution is x is equal to 0, y equal to 0. Now moving on to the next question. Right, so rearranging 1 x equal to minus 2y plus 4, substituting value of x in 2. So 2 minus 2y plus 4 plus 4y minus 12 equal to 0, minus 4y plus 8 plus 4y minus 12 equal to 0. This gets cancelled. Minus 4 equal to 0. What is this? This is a false statement. And hence, what is the solution? Here, no solution. This is what you're going to say. Statement is false, hence no solution. The variables have been eliminated. Moving on to the other question. Again, rearranging 1 to express x in terms of y, x equal to 9 minus 3y by 2, substituting value of x from 3 into, right, 4, 9 minus 3y by 2 plus 6y equal to 18, 18 minus 6y plus 6y equal to 18, this gets cancelled, 18 equal to 18, true, hence infinitely many solutions. Okay, so now in this question, we have to find the value of m here. First, we have to solve the equations for x and y and then find the value of m in this second equation. So what are we going to do? Express x in terms of y in 1, so which becomes 11 minus 3y by 2. Substitute x from 3 in 1 into 11 minus 3y by 2 minus 4y equal to minus 24, 11 minus 3y minus 4y equal to minus 24, 7y equal to 35, y equal to 5, x equal to 11 minus 3 into 5 by 2, which is minus 2. So y is equal to mx plus 3. What is y? 5 m into minus 2 plus 3. What does m become? Minus 1, right? So this is the answer for this question. So we are moving on to exercise 3.2, question 3, problem sums. So let's look at question 4, 5 and 6. Okay. Taxi charges in a city consist of fixed charge together with a charge for distance covered. For a distance of 10 kilometers, the charge paid is 105, and for a distance of 15 kilometers, the charge paid is 155. What are the fixed charges? So let us assume fixed charges are F and variable charges are V, right? So what is fixed charges? Is the charge that is occurring for each account, irrespective of the distance covered. So red net, if the distance covered is D, then this is the cost, right? V is the variable charge. So in the question, what is given is, for a distance of 10 kilometers, this is 105, and for a distance of 15, is 155. We need to find out for a distance of f plus 25 kilometers. First we need to find out what are the fixed charges and what are the variable charges, and then find out what is the charge for f plus 25v. Basically 25 kilometers का कितना charge है, ठीक है? So बहुत ही simple है, you can just subtract it also. But let's do the substitution method first. So this is first equation. Second equation, f is equal to 105 minus 10v. Substituting in 3 in 2. So 105 minus 10v plus 15v is equal to 155. 5v is equal to v is equal to 10, substituting value of v from 4 in 1, बेसिकली 10 into 10 राइट, सो 100 हो गया. तो आप रेंज करोगे तो v की वैल्यू 5 आ गई है. ठीक है, तो इसमें डालोगे तो क्या होगा 5 + 25 into 10 just 255. So this is the answer. Moving on to the next question. Here there is a fraction, right? So let us first assume numerator of fraction is n and denominator is d. Okay, so the fraction is n by d. Now you can very well take it in terms of xy only, right? So in the previous question also I have done f and v. You can simply take it as xy also, but personal reference, you can use xy again. My personal preference is to correlate the problem sum to the equation and make my life easy, and hence call numerator as n, denominator as d, right? So now let's go through the question. The question says the fraction becomes 9 by 11 if 2 is added to both numerator and denominator. So first equation is this. Rearrange this. So this is first equation. Now let's look at the second equation. If 3 is added to both the numerator and denominator, then the fraction becomes 5 by 6. So rearrange. So this is second equation. So we have got we have got two linear equations. Now we have to solve for this. So we can express any one in the other form. So n is equal to 9d plus 4 by 11. Substitute this value here. 6 into 9d plus 4 by 11 minus 5d plus 3 is equal to 0. We will just multiply entire thing by 11. 54d plus 24 minus 55d plus 33 equal to 0. D taking on the other side, 24 plus 33, 57, and substituting this value here, n is equal to 9 into 57 plus 4 by 11. 9 7s are 63, 9 5s are 45, 45 plus 6 is 51. I somehow feel there is an issue here. Let me just check. See, I'm not editing this out, so I caught my mistake, right? So this is 22 plus 18. When we get here, it's plus 4 actually. So when we put this here, this is minus 4. When we substitute this here, this is minus 4. So this is minus 24. So this is 9. D is 9. So D is 9. Now substituting the value of D equal to 9 here, in this 9 equal to 9 minus 11, 81 minus 4 by 11, which is 77 by 4, which is 7. So the fraction is this. ठीक है. So mistakes आपके होंगे एग्ज़ाम में भी, मतलब ये मैं वीडियो गलत हुआ है इसके लिए नहीं कह रही हूँ, मैं जनरली भी बोल रही हूँ कि मिस्टेक्स आपके एग्ज़ाम्स में होंगे, एंड इट्स नॉट अ बिग डील बिकॉज एंड तभी हम लोग, what I used to do was I used to revise. I used to actually revise, complete my paper and actually do it again. See, it depends on you again. I don't want to scare you guys or anything. But क्योंकि इस केस में क्या था ना, मैंने ये क्वेश्चन पहले किया हुआ था. I had done this question before, so I knew that the answer was not this, right? But in the exam, you wouldn't know the answer. What is the answer? So you would have very well gone ahead and solved it. One clue was that it was becoming unnecessarily very difficult fraction. So that's one clue. The other, as I said, was that the tip could be that you just revise. Revision is main key. आप revise करो and then उसमें आप देखो कि क्या आंसर आ रहा है आपका. फिर और रिवाइज में मैं क्या करती थी, मैं फिर से करती थी, लिटरली फिर से करती थी. एटलीस्ट इन माई माइंड आई यूज टू डू इट अगैन. ओके, So now let's go to the last question of this exercise 3.2. Here there are two people, Jacob and his son. So let's denote their ages by J and S. As I said, I use this. You can simply use X or Y also here, but I use this. So it's written 5 year hence. So you have to write like this: 5 year hence, Jacob's age is so the problem says that it will be 3 times that of the son. So what is it? 3s plus 15. So rearranging J minus 3s, or anyways we know we have to express it, so let's just keep it like this: 3s plus 10. Then 5 years ago. So ages are J minus 5, S minus 5 is 7 times that of his son's age. What am I writing here? Okay, so this is the second equation. Now you say substituting value of J from 1 into 3s plus 10 is equal to 7s minus 30, 4s is equal to 40, s is equal to 10. So substituting value of s in 1, J is equal to 3 into 10, 10 plus 10 equal to 40. So finally, how are you going to write in your paper? How are you going to write? Hence, Jacob's age today is equal to 40 years. Jacob's son's age today is equal to 10 years. And what I used to do was I used to make this like this, and I used to write answer. That was just my style, I think. So what I really want to say is that what I've tried to do is I have to shown you step by step all these questions, right? Because that's how you are going to write in your exam.